Hello friends and welcome to a +1 MMR video. I think this is a little better than +1 MMR, to be honest, but it's still something I am experimenting with and testing out. So, we'll see how it goes. What's going to happen if you can cut one tree minimum. So I'm going to show you with one tree cut at night with a slow melee hero, for example, if you have a Pudge 5 on your team, because that makes this trick very difficult to do. And if you are a faster hero, if you are a ranged hero, if you have spells to use, if you can cut more trees, all of it makes the trick easier. The trick being that you can pull this camp and stack this camp. And on the other side, you can pull this small camp, stack this medium camp here. So I have not given myself much time, but for the Radiant, some variation depending on how fast your hero is. But what I'm going to do here, I'm going to cut this tree right here, which you could do with a Quelling Blade or a Tango, and then I'm going to hit the camp, pull it through here, aggro this wave here, that'll be the pull, and then I run up here, try to stack this camp, hit it by 55, and run up. Let's see if we can do that. And if I can't, I'm going to restart. We're going to hit it, run down here. There we go. Now, if you had a spell or a ranged auto attack, you could just blast the wave like so, but because we're a slow melee hero, oh god, I don't know if we're going to make it. Get out of that. Fox, move! Oh, just in time. So, that's the trick. And now the pull happened successfully. This camp is stacked. This is a hard camp, so that's pretty nice if you have anyone on your team who can clear stacks. So that was with the full restrictions on, nighttime, everything like that. Let me show you how to do it a little easier. So one, if you cut this tree, that helps a lot, because now when you turn up here, you can walk straight through like this into the camp and then pull straight out. And if that tree is still alive, then when you run up here, so one, if you were a ranged hero, you still can't see the camp. You have to like walk out here and then auto attack. So having this tree cut buys you a little bit more leeway, because you just have to like run up here, you see the camp, you auto attack. And even if you're a melee hero, you can now run straight to it and aggro, so that makes it easier. Now over here, this is the bare minimum tree to cut so that the camp can walk out. Let me stand out here so it spawns again. So if you stand here, you won't really aggro, but you'll notice actually, because of the way the trees work, it's kind of hard to see the camp, and that can screw you over on this tight timing. So for one, having a second tree cut down here helps a lot. Or if you cut this tree up here, so let me move out of here. Now you can see that you can actually see the camp. This makes it a lot easier if you're a ranged hero. You can now stand out here, auto attack this, and then pull through here. Now, to give yourself more options for pulling through, you could cut this tree, walk out here that way, and then that way you can like immediately, so it would be like aggro, walk through here, meet the creep wave, and then immediately turn back this way. Because I walk through here and the creeps walk through here, I end up having to like aggro the wave, and then I walk around like this, which I think is about the same, but as you see, like you turn a bit to the right over here, which adds on like, a fraction of a second. So the more trees you have cut here as well, of course, the easier. If you have a whole pathway cut, then it makes it a lot easier to pull straight from this camp, straight through, get hit, aggro the creep wave, and then walk up. But of course, most of us don't have time to cut this many trees. Like, even if you buy a Quelling Blade, you can't really sit here for like 30 seconds setting this trick up. You have to like, maybe you just have a Tango too, and that way you have to like work with a bare minimum. You hit this, let me show you. Hit this, pull through here because this path is already open. And the melee usually loses interest, so you kind of have to depend on a range creep to do it. And if you have... Fortunately, every camp has a range creep besides the kobolds, but because the kobolds are so fast, they can also make it through, as you saw in the first example. And then you run up here and stack. Now, some considerations. This is harder to do because usually you play the lane, and then when you need to, you walk over here, you aggro the camp, you attack it, and then you run down. It makes it easier on you. To do this trick, you have to give yourself more time because you have to run all the way around to this side of the camp, aggro it, do the whole pull thing and then stack. It's just a limitation of the trick. There's nothing I can really do otherwise. You have to pull this way. Okay, that's not true. If you have a long enough spell, you can do a normal pull. You can, like, pull normally, walk this way, and then cast a spell and hit this. So, like, Coddle can do it. Grimstroke can do it. The downside being, of course, that you have to cast a spell. So the trick I'm showing you, even a hero like Pudge, without casting any spells, I was able to do this. Now let me go show you on the other side. Now while we wait for the camps to spawn and get going, let me show you how the trick's going to work. Once again, bare minimum, you need to cut this tree. This lets you see the camp, aggro it, and then pull it in this direction. Now this pull is not anything new. This is something that many people will use. Well, maybe not many, but it's an option you have to pull faster. And that's why doing this trick is easier on the Dire. This is already something established and done. You're going to aggro it, pull it up here, walk over here, and then aggro this camp and pull it out of the box. Same deal, you can make this a little easier on yourself, cutting this tree, cutting some of these trees. It just makes the trick a little bit easier, but not quite necessary. So let me demonstrate. Here we are. I'm going to aggro this at 42. I'm just going to walk into the camp. Going to walk up here. Easy pull. Walk this way. And you'll see I have a lot more time and a lot more leeway. That's why this trick, mainly for the Dire, but it is possible on the Radiant if you really want to. For example, you have a Alchemist. You have some high-tempo mid-hero like Templar Assassin. You have a carry who will get really strong if they farm quickly, like some Illusion Naga TB hero who can clear stacks really quickly. Or, well, Sven's not popular right now. Luna's like okay. But, you know, those style of heroes that they leave the lane and they're like, oh my god, my support has 3 stacks for me. Commended. You know, that is what this trick is for. You don't need to do it if you have someone like a Ricky, Sniper, you can do it. Who's a mid-hero who doesn't clear stacks? God, most heroes are mid-heroes because they can clear stacks. I don't know, I can't think of one off the top of my head. But this trick matters less and less if you don't have mid-heroes that do stacks. Oh, and some other trees to make this trick a little easier. So one, well, I'm going to have to aggro the camp for this. But if you cut these 2 trees, you can see into the small camp even when you're not there. Again, making your life a little easier if you're a range creep. Oh no, I didn't mean to aggro this camp. Oops. That's fine. And then if you cut these trees as well, you see you only needed 1 tree, but it, you know, if you have the ability to cut multiple trees, you might as well cut them. So now when you do the pull, it's a lot faster, just straight through here, direct. You don't have to like run around the trees. But again, it doesn't really matter. Like you saw how much time I had. I had multiple seconds left over to do this trick and then stack this camp. And in fact, if you're actually fast enough, you could potentially do this, pull here, and then run over here and double stack, hitting this at 53 and this at 55. But you'd have to be a really fast hero. Someone like Enchantress or, I don't know, maybe like, I was going to say Mirana. It'd be weird for Mirana to be up here. But you know what I mean. If you're a really fast hero and potentially you have a long range spell, you can use this trick to get yourself in position into the jungle here to then stack 1 to 2 or 3 camps, you know, if you're practicing one of those like stacking tricks. The point is this lets you pull, which might be something you need to do, and stack. So we're just adding more value to a single action. Whereas before, it was very difficult to do that. It's very hard to pull this and then stack this camp, for example. Possible, but hard. Same with over here, because this is more likely to be contested by the enemy, and they might stop your stack, or they might steal your stack. This is a very safe stack. This is a very safe stack. It's very unlikely for the enemy to steal it if you're not getting steamrolled, which, you know, you have different issues at that point. That's it. Thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time.